All right, folks, let's get this show started. An interview I've been trying to do for a long time, but now it's actually happening. We have the Republican here who is the master of the registration. It is Scott Presler right here. He's right now a Pennsylvania resident as well. Welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. It's summer. We've got fairs and festivals. I am ready to rock and roll. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I know that your big goal overall has been to try to get that registration gap much closer for the Republican side. I mean, if you look
Yes.
back during the Obama administration, it was close to 1 million more Democrats. How close are you right now?
Well, actually, when President Obama was reelected back in November of 2012, there were 1.2 million more registered Democrats than Republicans, more than 1.2. And so as of Monday of this week, we get data every Monday. That number has gone down to 175,000 voter registrations. Now, if you take out inactive voters, meaning voters that haven't voted for a little while, that 175,000 number actually goes down to 74,909. So we are on the verge of flipping Pennsylvania from blue to red in terms of voter registration.
I know it's always a combination of the feelings people have, but also the chance to get that registration. I know you've been very active in finding people that maybe weren't part of the process. Give me your one or two main reasons that you've seen that shift.
People are happy with President Trump's agenda. But I think first we must realize, why did Pennsylvania vote for President Donald Trump over Kamala Harris? And there were three main reasons why. Number one, they wanted peace, not war. And President Trump has demonstrated, even during his first administration, that he is the peace president, and even making sure that peace through strength, that Iran doesn't have nuclear capability. Number two was the economy. And third, and what I think is probably the most important, especially in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, is Americans are vehemently opposed to illegal immigration.
Right.
And they voted for President Trump because of America First. And those three issues, we're seeing a continuation of 2024 into 2025.
I know you're out there all the time. You're still, like you said, working on that gap and making your progress. What has been the enthusiasm level now compared to before the election? Because before it's all we need change, we got to do this stuff. Now you have the person in office that you voted for, and are you getting what you voted for? In particular, are people talking about the big, beautiful bill and maybe some deficit problems that could come out of that? What's the mood right now as you're trying to keep these numbers going in your direction?
You know, I'm on the ground often with my team across Pennsylvania, and issues like the BBB don't come up. And I want to remind our beautiful listeners at home, even though I'm on the media with you right now, social media is not real life. On the ground, people are talking about the fact that we're deporting criminal illegal aliens. And so on the ground, we're not seeing some of the things that other people are making a big deal about.
I hear you.
They care about the economy, they care about illegal immigration. Those are the things that matter.
Well, yeah. I mean, I go out to the farmers market every week. It's where I actually saw you at Roots over there in Manheim. Those are the people that are doing the voting and that are interested in things. And you went after the Amish community, trying to get more of them registered. That brings me to my next
Yes.
point here. I read online recently you're going to be at a Catholic church doing a registration there. Is that
Yes.
actually in reaction to the IRS ruling allowing some endorsements now coming from the pulpit in the future?
You know, I will say churches this year have been coming around even prior to the IRS decision to ease the Johnson Amendment, that churches can become political and endorse politically. So even before that, we had some churches, because I want to be clear, 30% of Christians are not registered to vote. 30% of Christians are not registered. And if they actually voted their biblical values, we could radically transform our country for the better, for the positive. And so I will say this Catholic Church, though, came right after the IRS decision. And so I think that ultimately this decision is going to benefit people of faith and voters of faith, perhaps getting more involved in our elections. And I firmly welcome that.
What's it been like for you to hear all the criticism coming your way as well? When you're out there, you're just getting people to vote, the numbers are good, that's one thing, but you haven't been afraid to speak up, to talk about tough things. I've seen you in front of some local township offices sometimes, but with that comes scrutiny back at you. How's it been personally when it comes to that kind of thing?
You know, I'm on a health journey. In the last 3 months, I've lost 35 pounds. On television with you today, I think some might even say I'm glowing and scintillating. Listen, water off a duck's back. They can scrutinize me all day, every day, but we have a winning message. And so I will take those tomatoes and I will take those arrows all day, because again, we are 74,909 voters away from flipping Pennsylvania. And so therefore, the numbers, the science, the data shows me Pennsylvania, our message is resonating and the state continues to go to the right.
But Scott, what happens to those numbers if this America party that Elon Musk is behind really gets going? What would happen to those numbers that you're so proud of and that maybe Republicans were hoping to even get further that way?
Well, I do think that a third party would split the vote. We've seen this historically across the country. In 2024, we saw this in Wisconsin, we saw this in Michigan, we saw this in other Senate seats across the country. A third party, in my humble opinion, will split the vote. But I will say, with respect to Elon Musk, who I do respect, and I'm thankful for what he did in 2024. I think the majority of people are loyal to President Trump and they are loyal to the America First Party. And some, I would even argue, would say that this wing of the Republican Party that supports Donald Trump is already the third party. And the last thing I want to say very briefly is, if you're unhappy with how things are going, primary. We're a closed primary state. Register as a Republican and let's choose more conservative candidates in primaries.
Got less than a minute left. I'm going to let you clarify something else. You did this online as well. Some people criticizing you for taking $1 million from Elon Musk and thinking, what does that mean?
I'm grateful for the opportunity. You know, when I got on the phone with him, I could have asked for more, but I am frugal. I am dedicated and I am laser focused on the mission. With that money, I hired 84 staff across Pennsylvania. We registered 50,000 voters at earlyvoteaction.com, earlyvoteaction.com. And with that, we helped reelect Scott Perry. We flipped Rob Bresnahan's seat to Republican. We flipped Ryan McKenzie's seat to Republican. And we helped to defeat entrenched Democrat Bob Casey, electing Senator McCormick, the 53rd Senate seat that gave President Trump that beautiful Republican majority.
All those things happened.
We did.
But what about the money piece of this? I mean, are they thinking that, he's going to give you more money, you're going to do more things for him? What about that criticism?
I'm on the media right now. If people are understanding that Elon is probably not going to donate to me again, I ask for your support. I ask to earn your support by donating and financing our work at earlyvoteaction.com.
Right. And you're not going to join his America party. You're staying with the Republicans,
No.
What you say. Okay.
No, I am loyal to the president and I am loyal to using the vehicle of the Republican Party to make the best party possible.
Okay, I could talk to you all day. You're an interesting person. I've called you, when people say, what kind of person is this? I said, he's kind of the Pied Piper of Republican registration. He just gets it done and goes to these places, and people seem to do it. And your political future will be very interesting as well, and we'll get you back on and talk about that someday. Thanks, Scott.
Grateful. Thank you.